What if I told you that one of the smartest marketing campaigns in gaming history did not come from a gaming company? It didn't come from Nintendo, PlayStation, or Microsoft, but Pizza Hut. In the late 1990s, if you ordered a stuffed crust pizza, you didn't just get dinner, but you also got a PlayStation demo disc. And the man who thought of this idea went on to become the president of Nintendo in America. But that's just one chapter of the story. The relationship between pizza and gaming goes back way further than most people realize, all the way back to the man who invented Pong. The year is 1972. Nolan Bushnell co-founds Atari, releases Pong, and kicks off the entire gaming industry. Fast forward to 1977, he's now sold Atari to Warner Communications for $28 million. He's now got money, he has a vision, but he has a problem. Arcades in the 1970s had a serious image problem. They were dark, seedy places, and they were often found in places like bars. Parents just didn't want their kids anywhere near them. Schools warned against them, and cities even banned pinball machines over fears of juvenile delinquency. His idea was to combine video games with the most family-friendly venue he could think of, which is food, and more specifically, pizza. Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater opened in San Jose, California on May 17, 1977. Animatronic characters on stage, arcade cabinets along the walls, pizza coming out the kitchen, birthday parties, kids everywhere. It was the first family-friendly restaurant ever to integrate food with arcade gaming, and it worked. By the early 1980s, during the arcade boom, Chuck E. Cheese began to expand rapidly across America, and copycats began to pop up everywhere. Bushnell had done something remarkable. He didn't just create a restaurant, he had made arcade gaming respectable. He had made gaming something that parents would willingly drive their kids to on a Saturday afternoon and spend money at. The pizza and gaming connection had just been born, and it was just getting started.
Then 1983 happened.
The video game crash wiped out the arcade industry almost overnight. Home consoles had flooded the market with low-quality games, consumer confidence collapsed, Atari lost hundreds of millions, and arcades saw profits drop by 40% in a year. And Chuck E. Cheese? They filed for bankruptcy in 1984. The restaurant was eventually acquired and merged with its biggest competitor, Showbiz Pizza. The animatronic pizza party dream had crumbled, at least for now. But gaming recovered. Nintendo brought it back with the release of the NES in 1985, and by the time it was the early 90s, gaming was booming again. And a new generation of kids who are now older with more spending power are becoming the core audience for gaming. Fast food brands started paying attention, and one brand in particular saw a massive opportunity. By the mid-1990s, Pizza Hut was one of the biggest restaurant chains in the world, and they had a marketing executive with a very unusual idea. The man who would later become one of the most beloved figures in gaming history as the president of Nintendo of America. But in the late 1990s, Reggie was Pizza Hut's senior director of national marketing, and he had noticed something. Gaming was everywhere. The PlayStation had just come out, and kids are obsessed. And the demographic that played games? They ate a lot of pizza. So at that point, Reggie had brokered a deal between Pizza Hut and PlayStation that no one had seen coming. This wasn't just some cheap promotional trinket. It was an actual disc packed with playable demos of some of the biggest games of the holiday season. The first disc, known as Blue Label, featured Tomb Raider 3, Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, and Medieval. Sony manufactured 3.5 million of these discs. That is the largest number of demo discs manufactured by Sony America at that point. Then in 1999 came the second disc, which contained what many people consider to be the most influential gaming demo of all time. The warehouse level from Tony Hawk Pro Skater. 2 minutes on a timer, Goldfinger Superman blasting through the speakers, millions of kids repeating the level over and over again, staying up until 3 a.m. trying to beat their high scores. That demo alone is credited with turning Tony Hawk's Pro Skater into a global cultural phenomenon, and it came in a pizza box. The Pizza Hut PlayStation partnership became one of the most effective marketing crossovers in gaming history. It turned Reggie into someone the gaming industry noticed. Later, Nintendo came calling, and the rest is history. Now, Pizza Hut wasn't alone. By the 2000s, fast food gaming promotions became a legitimate marketing strategy, but nobody went harder than Burger King. In 2006, at the peak of the Xbox 360 era, Burger King released 3 fully playable games. Not demos, not mini games on a website. 3 fully playable games with cases, with covers, sitting next to the Whopper for $3 each. The games were Sneak King, Pocket Bike Racer, and Big Bumpin'. Sneaking was a stealth game where you played as the Burger King mascot, sneaking up on hungry people and surprising them with burgers. It was bizarre, it was unsettling, and it was genuinely kind of fun. Burger King sold 3.2 million copies. For context, that puts it in the same conversation as some of the best-selling Xbox 360 games of that holiday season. The gaming press was stunned. A fast food chain had actually created a hit. It proved something very important. Gamers were willing to interact with branded content if it was real and it was done well, if it respected them enough to be an actual playable game instead of just an ad in disguise. By 2012, the relationship between gaming and pizza had evolved into something that nobody could have predicted. Pizza Hut launched an app on the Xbox 360 that lets you order pizza straight from your gaming console. Using the controller or the Kinect hand gestures, you can browse their menu, customize your pizza, and place an order without ever having to leave your game. It was the first branded app on a gaming console that lets you purchase physical goods directly from the platform. Pizza Hut's chief marketing officer called it a milestone, not just for pizza, but for the retail industry in general. And it worked. In the first year alone, gamers spent over $1 million purchasing pizza through the app. Even before that, in 2004, Pizza Hut had partnered with EverQuest 2, one of the biggest MMOs of its era, to let players order pizza from inside the game world. You type a command, a website would pop up, and a real pizza would be on its way to your house. So what does this all mean? The connection between gaming and pizza isn't an accident. Nolan Bushnell understood something in 1977 that took the rest of the world decades to catch up to. Gaming is a social activity. It is something you do with other people, and food, especially pizza, is a natural companion to that. You gather with your friends, you eat pizza, and you play games. You get the gist. Chuck E. Cheese made that idea physical. Pizza Hut made it transactional, and Burger King made it creative. And eventually, the industry formalized it into pizza ordering apps built straight into your gaming console. From animatronics in 1977, to PlayStation discs inside your pizza box, to ordering a stuffed crust from inside of an MMO, the history of pizza and gaming is one of the strangest and most entertaining crossovers in gaming history. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, tell us in the comments what you want us to talk about in the next video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.